Upcoming documentary highlights heated 2023 confrontation between Mark Gastineau and Brett Favre over sack record.
Former New York Jets star Mark Gastineau, who has harbored a decades-long grudge against Brett Favre, confronted the Hall of Fame quarterback at a Chicago memorabilia show last year. Gastineau accused Favre of deliberately taking a sack that allowed Michael Strahan to break his NFL single-season record. The tense exchange, captured on video, is featured in ESPN's upcoming 30 for 30 documentary, The New York Sack Exchange, premiering Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN and ESPN+. Gastineau, joined by two fellow members of the iconic Jet sack exchange defensive line from the 1980s, Marty Lyons and Joe Klecko, approached Favre, who was signing autographs. The Packers legend was caught off guard.
After a polite handshake, Gastineau quickly shifted the tone, referencing Strahan's record-breaking play.
"Yeah, right, when you fell down for him," Gastineau said.
"I'm going to get my sack back.
I'm going to get my sack back, dude."
A surprised Favre replied, "You probably would hurt me."
"Well, I don't care," Gastineau shot back, pointing at Favre.
"You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?"
"Yeah, I hear you," Favre said, attempting to defuse the situation. "You really hurt me, Brett," Gastineau added as Favre was escorted away by a handler, leaving a visibly upset Gastineau behind. The confrontation stemmed from the final game of the 2001 season when Strahan broke Gastineau's 17-year-old single-season sack record of 22.
Many believe Favre deliberately went down, giving Strahan a record-setting 22.5 sacks.
Gastineau had been present that day and congratulated Strahan, but by 2020, he publicly voiced his anger over what he deemed a trash sack. In the documentary, Gastineau revisits the controversy, saying, "Anybody will tell you that Brett Favre took a dive."
He later told ESPN that confronting Favre had been on his mind for years.
"I've been wanting to do that for a long time, many years," Gastineau said. "I've only got one more guy to go to," he added, implying Strahan.
Gastineau only learned of Favre's attendance at the memorabilia show upon arriving in Chicago. Despite Marty Lyons' attempts to dissuade him, Gastineau was determined.
"I told him, Mark, let it go. That happened years ago," Lyons recalled. But he had this little crazed look in his eye. Later, Gastineau's wife, Joanne, approached Favre's table to apologize, explaining that her husband didn't mean anything by it. Strahan, too, has felt the weight of the controversy, admitting in the 2013 NFL Network documentary A Football Life that the record's legacy has been tarnished. "The sack record is great, but I almost feel like it was diminished," Strahan said. "Everyone says, 'Oh, Brett Favre gave you a sack.' It's not worth it, because it feels like one questionable sack defines my career." Strahan's record is no longer unmatched, as T.J. Watt of the Pittsburgh Steelers tied the mark with 22.5 sacks in 2021.
On Tuesday, Favre addressed the incident in a lengthy thread on X, calling it a small dust-up and denying any malice.
"I didn't intentionally take the sack to hurt Mark," Favre wrote. He acknowledged the potential impact of the record on Gastineau's finances and Hall of Fame candidacy but maintained it wasn't on his mind during the play. "A while back, he saw me at a card show and got his frustration off his chest," Favre added.
"It's not the kind of moment that should be filmed and released. It was a private moment between two old football warriors." Favre also voiced support for Gastineau's Hall of Fame bid.
"I hope this controversy shines a light on just how great Mark Gastineau was.
He belongs in Canton.